Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. Today we have Don't Look Under the Bed. This is a Disney Channel original film, and yeah, it's a TV movie. It's from 1999, and it's an hour and 32 minutes long. It is technically a horror story. There's nothing under in little keywords here. None of them ever really say horror that I know of on Disney Plus. Yeah, I could be wrong in that, but this is more a fantasy. But it falls strangely under I mean, not strangely, I mean, they have their share of goosebumps like horror on the Disney Channel here and there. Again, it's fairly sanitized, but it's you're never going to get Nightmare on Elm Street, even though this shares a lot of similarities to Nightmare on Elm Street. And this movie also has a feel. It gives me the feeling that, like a lot of other Disney Channel original films, it seemed to be maybe a jumping off point for an ongoing series, which I imagine didn't happen because I don't see it listed when I type in the name. So, but I think there's a bit of a cult following for this. I don't know. I've never seen it before. I'm not from the generation that watched the Disney Channel. It didn't exist when I was a kid, and that probably tells you how old I am. But I mean, we had other Disney stuff when I was a kid. But yeah, for 1999, I was definitely not watching the Disney Channel. Just wasn't. Um, I was a bit too grown up, and that's kind of what the theme is in this movie. A bit. It's about a teenage girl. She's 14. She skipped a grade. She's super smart. She's she's seems to have it all together. But there's a lot of sort of deep story that's really crammed into an hour and 32 minutes. Um, she has two brothers, a mom and a dad, so we don't have that weird Disney curse where there's only one parent. Um, Not that it's a curse. It's just it seems weird that a lot of Disney movies, especially the princess cartoons, always seem to be missing a mom or at least a dad in most cases, or they lose them part way. In this case, she has a mom and a dad, played by Robin Riker and Stephen Tobolowsky. Now, if you're my age, you might recognize those names, and they've been in so many different things over the years. To me to go through and start tapping and telling you all that stuff, it would be a time suck. But mom and dad have been seen. They're all over the place. They've been in a ton of stuff. So I had to mention them. It's always a great thing. Anytime I see Stephen Tobolowsky in something, I know I'm going to enjoy his character. He always plays kind of either a weird fuddy duddy or just a weird guy, and he's sometimes the heavy, but mostly he's there for comedy. He's a funny guy. So yeah, once you see him, you'll probably go, ah, yeah, I've seen that guy in a bunch of stuff. And Robin Riker, the same thing. She's this reliable character actor that's been in so many different things. So, and she's in this case she brings the mom talent. She's usually kind of the sexy siren type, and but she plays the mom just as well. So and maybe mixes it up a little bit. Now, out of the adults, they seem to sort of be the most stable and realistic to a degree. All the other adults, like it seems to be in a lot of Disney stuff, are weird cartoonish versions of adults. The principal, one of the counselor, especially I think it's the counselor. They're all sort of really weirdly exaggerated with strange voices, and yeah, I can't. I'm not even going to try and do it, but they seem just odd. I don't know if it's meant to hold the kids' attention, to say that parents don't understand. They're different. They're weird. Like it's supposed to uh, fortify, or it's supposed to support that kind of attitude that parents are just weird and don't understand what we're going through. Well, in this case, they certainly don't, because one morning they wake up to find that all their clocks have been set ahead by 3 hours, and they all end up waking up at 4:30 in the morning when they're supposed to wake up at 7:30, and the eggs are gone, all the Jello mix is gone. Um, did I say? Yeah, I said eggs. Eggs, Jello mix. There's all sorts of weird things happening, and she gets our main character Frances. Her name is Frances. Come on, her name Frances Bacon. Uh, Mc, my eyes are bad tonight. McCausland, yeah, McCausland. Then the last name isn't important, but her first name is Frances Bacon. So first and middle name is Frances Bacon. She's redhead. She's 14, and she is got it all together, but she doesn't. I don't want to give away the whole movie because if this is the kind of thing that you haven't seen yet, you've either like may have been obsessed with it growing up as a kid, or you are maybe too old like me to have never seen it. And there's a lot of surprises along the way. It's got a few little twists and turns that I was not expecting. Yeah. It's. I don't think it's anything that's gonna blow your mind. Like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. And there's a number of things about this film that yes, if you aren't 10, you might find this a little obnoxious because, well, let's just say Frances has to deal with the boogeyman. And Frances also has to deal with an imaginary friend that only she can see for some reason. It's not her imaginary friend, but apparently she can see him. And that's one thing I didn't really understand the logic of. Maybe I just missed that part. But yeah, there's a number of pranks, a number of things like the one teacher's car gets egged, the school swimming pool gets filled with Jello. Hey, all those things seem to be missing from the house, but from houses everywhere. But everybody seems to point towards Frances as the reason why all this is happening. She's an obnoxious older brother. He could have done it. Yeah, his name is what is his name? Benny, maybe Bart, really? Bert. His name is Bert. So Bert, he has a B in his name. When suddenly bees start appearing on everybody's locker at school, like B. Well, Frances Bacon, or it could be Bert, but he doesn't seem to get the blame for it. There's a number of other little elements that go, hey, well, you know what? She might be the one who's just pranking. And maybe she's acting out. Maybe she can't handle the pressure of high school because she's been moved up a grade. What's going on with that? So, but we learned there's a number of issues that she had to deal with family, and also regarding her younger brother, who figures into this very strongly. We learn about the mythology of behind the scenes of what makes an imaginary friend and what makes a boogeyman, and how they interact with the world, the rules of those beings and how they work together. And there's, like I said, there's a few twists and turns here along the way, but most of the time, this guy. Well, sorry. Oh, spoiler. I want to say his name is Ty Hodges. He plays Larry Houdini. Larry Houdini. Any relation? No, but he is definitely the guy who is following Frances around. It seems like it, and he's always showing up in different outfits, acting very strangely, making a lot of noise, but nobody else can see him, and it makes people think that Frances is probably going a little crazy, that she's snapped under all the pressure. And he is probably, when I was saying earlier that adults might go, this is a little grating, because he is just, he's a lot to handle. But kids will go, this guy's wacky, he's fun, he's silly. I mean, there's a lot of silliness in this, and if you can take it with a grain of salt, that, you know what, just go with the flow. This guy is wacky, he's silly, he makes references to The Shining and Star Wars. Well, she makes a reference to Star Wars, he makes a reference to The Shining. So, here's Larry, which is also a reference to Johnny Carson, but still, it's beyond the range of any kid in that era. Maybe it's me, but it felt like this movie was a lot longer than an hour and a half. I think it's because there's a lot that gets built into this. There's a lot going on, and yeah, it seems like there's one sequence toward the end where Frances is trying to rescue her little brother from a trap kind of thing, and it feels like everything else is going on around them while she spends like 20 minutes not getting this kid out of this trap, which is just, why is this taking so long? it's filler, but there's a weird struggle between the imaginary friends and the boogeymen, and who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, who are they really, and who are they not, and will she ever save face with her family, her friends, the neighborhood, when everything goes wrong? Why are the dogs on the roof? Why does she have Christmas lights lit up on their house when power in the entire town has gone out? What's going on? There's something going on here, and is it really all her fault? Is she going to take the fall for all of this? Well, it comes down to dealing with allowing ourselves to be children and allowing ourselves to have retain childlike qualities, imagination, and things like that. Things that you would get, you think you would get from a Disney film, but as I said earlier, while this is not a horror film, it probably has some of the most horror like elements for any Disney Channel movie I've ever seen. There's so many scenes of dolls turning heads and moving into frame and just doing weird crap. Yeah, there's plenty of shots like that make you go, okay, this is unsettling. This is definitely unsettling. It's not the whole main point of it, but every once in a while when they do that, there's a little jump scare sometimes. It's meant to be a little spooky. It's meant to be really creepy. And while the special effects are very 1999. It's low level special effects. I think they did great on the set design of a certain location. Let's just say I will not reveal a third act location. That kind of reminds you a little bit of Honey I Shrunk the Kids, a little bit of a little Beetlejuicy, maybe a little Beetlejuice. I don't know. It's just a strange looking area. It's all done practically. Obviously, they're not doing Star Wars Episode 1 digital effects at that era, even though that's the same year that Episode 1 came out in 1999. They didn't have the budget, so in this movie, Star Wars, they did. And they use a number of effects. There's practical work. There's some actually really good makeup effects and costume stuff. There is some digital usage, or at least it looked digital. It might have been practical. There's a lot of actually really good effects throughout this. Some of it obviously really bad, like green screen or blue screen at the time maybe. And it shows its age. So, and it's what can be expected for a Disney Channel movie in 1999. It's nothing against them. It's just that's what it was. And there's even like rear projection stuff. Like there's a scene with Francis and Larry riding a car on top of a car kind of thing, and it looks like they're out of control. And they're going down a road or something, and what they are in front of is actually a big screen in which that road has been projected, and it looks like when the camera's facing them, it's pulling away, in the back, or if they're heading down the hill and you're looking over their shoulders, it looks like it's heading toward you. So yeah, all those effects in there are kind of, they're actually decently done. They don't age well, but for what they were working with, it's actually pretty good. And the fact that they didn't go for the really simple answers for this main character's issues. People wondered that, yeah, she might be going crazy, which might be not a good term, but she's a little unsettled, and there's actually real reasons behind that she's just not, well, she's 13, she's 14, well, that's just what happens, teens, or, and it's not just these otherworldly beings that are messing with her that make her look bad. There's reasons behind this, which I'm not going to give away. There's actual solid, real world kind of trauma, in a sense, or guilt, or there's emotional reasons why she feels this way, why these otherworldly creatures are showing up in her home and messing with everything, and why they're messing with her more than anybody else. So yeah, it's actually really well done, and I understand why there's probably a cult following for this, even though I've never seen it myself, like I said. But yeah, I would say check it out, especially we're coming up on Halloween in another month or so. And yeah, it might be a good time to pull that one out and watch it with the kids or watch it with your parents and see how it goes. Yeah, it's no, it's not going to be Friday the 13th or Freddy Krueger or anything else, but you might get a nice little fun, innocent Disney level horror twinge out of it. I don't know. Anyway, let's pick tomorrow's episode.
381.
381. 381. Huh. Alright, we got another movie. I don't know what this is. Actually, I don't know. I have no idea. By the way, there's so many. I mean, if we just saw Secretariat 2 days ago, whenever it was, we saw Secretariat. There's a lot of horse movies on Disney Plus, tons of them. The only thing that outdoes horses is dogs, and this is a dog movie. I'm guessing, unless it's the one with John Travolta and everybody else, I don't know. This is Old Dogs. Old Dogs is what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that. Bye. Uh-oh. I was right. It is a John Travolta movie. But, and it's got Seth Green and Robin Williams. I think I've seen that a long time ago. However, we won't be watching it because due to pre-existing contracts or whatever else, agreements, this title is not available until August 1st, 2022. Why do you have it listed then? Why do you tease us? So we have to pick another one. It's just, why is this on here if it's not allowed to be seen? So yeah, we can't, we can add it as a thing, but yeah, we're not going to be able to watch it for now. So I'm going to have to strike this from the list. Let's pick another episode.
204.
All right, 204. I go through these all the time, and I think I got it all taken care of. Maybe it was just taken away recently. I have no idea. Wait, this is 204, right? I've already forgotten. 204. We got a series. I don't know which one this is. I've never seen it before. But you might know it. Goldie and Bear. Goldie and Bear. So I'm going to check this after I log off here, but that's what we're watching next. Supposedly, Goldie and Bear on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow.